Hello, welcome again to my channel. My name is Cynthia. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make a petticoat. All right, I want to make a wedding gown, all right, for a client, and then I decided to make the petticoat first. So this is the instrument I'll be using. I'll be using this boning. Okay, actually use the original boning, all right, but I would advise if you are use a plastic boning, because at the end of this I added a wire to what for my work on the down part and on the upper side. So I'll be using this pattern paper um to just show you what I am doing. Okay, no, I won't be drafting on the pattern. I just want to use to show you an example. Okay, and then I also have my strong net. You need a strong net and a satin. The satin is going to act as our bias. So if today is the first time I've come into this channel, please, I want to say thank you for coming. You're very welcome. And if you've not subscribed, please do by subscribing. Okay, so also share our video with your soulmates and give us a thumbs up at the end of this tutorial if you find it very helpful. Whether you find it or not, I know it's going to be helpful. So just hit the like button. All right, so we'll just go into the class. Like I said, I'll be using the pattern paper to show you example of what I want to do. So I'll just go ahead to fold my net into two, and then I'm going to hold the folded part at the point as that the upper side of the folded part. I'll just fold again, making it what into four. I'm actually making a half flay. I'm using half flay for this tutorial. Okay, you can use a full flay, but I'm using half flay, so you can see what I am doing here. So I'm actually using a half flay. Okay, so I folded into two, and now I'm folding into four. So that's how we're going to fold our net. So that is exactly how I am going to do my folding. Okay, never mind that one remaining on the bottom area, because our net is almost think 90 inches or so, so it's going to fold well when we fold it. But I just want to show us what I'm going to do while I'm folding my net. So now you're going to check the waist of the client you are working with. Okay, now because you wouldn't want I wouldn't want the petticoat to be for just a particular client. I want it to be used by different clients. Let's say from size 32 to size 40. Okay, so I'll be doing size 32 to 40, so I'll be using 40 inches for my waist. You know how we so I'm going to, like, I folded into four. Now I'm going to start dividing. I'll be dividing into four also, but because I'm working with a paper, so and the paper is not up to my fabric, so I will say waist divided by what, four. Let's say, like I said, I'm using 40 inches as my waist, but because the paper is not much, I'll be using 20 so that you understand it better. So I will say 20, which is my waist, divided by what, 4, will give us what, 5 inches. So now that 5 inches, you're going to add extra 1.5 to it. Okay, because if you use exactly 5, you not have much fabric on the waist, especially on that waist side. I'm going to try to fold some parts, because you won't have to close it. It doesn't mean you're going to put anything like zip on it. I'll show you how to do that area. So because of that, I'm adding 1.5 to it so that it can be what, enough. All right, so from the upper side I measured 5 inches, which is 20 divided by 4. We are assuming it's our waist, and then I added extra 1.5. So I'll just go ahead and mark my lines, my radius. And so once I was done doing that, and I'm going to get the length. Okay, you know how we do it now. So now for the main fabric, the length I'm going to use is going to be longer than that. At least I should have around 50 inches or thereabouts, or you can use 48. All right, so but because it's the paper and the paper is short, and remember I said I'm trying to make you understand, so the paper gave us around 12 to 13 inches. So I'm going to use 13 inches on this paper as my length. But if you're marking on your hard net, you should know the length of what your petticoat. So I'm just going to mark my lines. So I'm using 12 inches. So I'm using 12 inches for my length. So I don't know the length you want to use. Just check. It all depends on the kind of length you want to use. So I'm just go ahead and finish doing my markings, and once I was done with the marking, once I'm done with the marking, I'll cut it out, and then I'll show you. So like I said, it's going to be a half flay. Okay, I'm working with what, a half flay. So I don't know what's the one you want, but I want to do half flay. Okay, I think half flay will be okay. So now this is how to cut it. All right, this is exactly how to cut your petticoat. Now I'm going to now bring the main fabric and cut. At least now you have an idea of how it's going to look like. Remember, the length was because our paper was short, but I was just trying to show it so that you understand better. I don't know the length you want to use, but for me, I'm using length 50 with my hard net. So I'll go ahead and and cut out my hard net. I won't be showing that since we already have seen how I did this one. All right, so once I finish cutting, we are going to start stitching it. I forgot to mention, now at this point, we are going to draft out the loop, as in the channels, all right? So this channel will help you to put in your bonings. So what I did was that I'm going to use my satin to cut out a half flay also, a half flay, like I did here. And so once I'm through with cutting it, I'm going to create the channels. And the channels I am creating, I want to check what you have, okay? So let's say, for example, we are using, let's say, since we said 12 inches was the length of the clothes we are using, of the petticoat we are making. Okay, let's assume it's 12 inches. We're going to divide what you have with 3 inches, okay? So we are going to now create use it to create our channels. So now I'm supposed to cut this on bias. That's on as if I'm cutting a triangle, but I won't do that because I'm trying to manage my fabric. So what I'll just do is this. I'm just going to measure 3 inches on my satin and cut it out. All right, sorry, not 3 inches. I'm going to measure yes, we use 3 inches, 3 inches on my satin, and then we are going to we are going to cut it. So for all of them, I'll measure 3 inches. Okay, is because I am going to fold the two sides before joining. So that's why I'm taking 3 inches, so that by the time I join the others, I fold inside the other side and fold the other side. I'm going to have, if I fold with 0.75 on the two side, I'm going to have 1.5 remaining, okay, for my boning. So measure your boning so that you know the width of your boning. Okay, you can actually use 2.5, but I use 3 inches on this part. So I'll go ahead and cut out the bias this way. Okay, I'll cut out the bias this way. Now on the main fabric, what you're going to do now is to create these spaces like we did here. Okay, now the reason why I had to do only 3 lines here was because, like I said, we're working on paper and then we don't have much paper. So on the main fabric, I didn't use 3 inches like I used here. I used 7 inches for my spacing. But after some time, I discovered 7 inches was not okay. So I had to use like 3.5 inches. All right, so it depends on what you want to use. So now this, you can see how I'm folding it. Okay, I folded the other side, finished sewing one side, and then I folded the second side. So once I was through with folding it, I will now insert my boning until I get to the end. So that's exactly what you're going to do with your what when you are what stitching. You see what I did there? All right, so that's exactly what you are going to do. So once we are done with that, I'll go ahead and cut out all our what our bowling channels. So we'll now go ahead to cut out what our fabric. I won't be explaining this, okay, since we have explained it, but I'll just show you so that you can see it. All right, sorry for the marker I was using. I had to use the marker so that you understand it better. So those of you that don't know how to sew straight, okay, I had to use the marker so that if you are sewing, you can follow up the marker. So what we did was that because we used the marker, our bias, I used it actually to cover up what the marker. So you won't be seeing the marker after you are through with what with joining. So now I'm going to start what our joining. Now I'm going to show you how to join. We're going to join this side first, the once this side, and then once we are through with joining it this way, I will now turn it and fold it the other way around. So just keep watching what I am doing. So once I was done with joining that area, I'm going to turn it and then fold it. All right, I'll fold it this way. I'll keep folding until I get what to the end. So you saw what I did there. I first of all joined one side, and then now I am folding. I folded it so that I can the other edge is covered. So the other side is what I'm covering now. So I'll just do that what gently until we get to what to the end. Now on the waist part, okay, I'm going to also use bias to cover that area. So that part is going to be open. I'm going to measure like 9 inches on the waist part from the beginning. I'll measure like 9 inches, okay, and then I will use my bias to cover it. Now the reason why I am stopping at that 9 inches is that from that 9 inches I stopped, that's where I'm going to close my work from. So I'm going to also cover that area like I am covering what those places I marked with what marker. So on the waist part, I'll cover it that way. Once I finish sewing this side, I will now turn it to fold it what well. All right, so that's what you can see what I'm doing. I'll turn it to the other side to make the other side look neater, and then I will fold it in. You can see I fold it inside, and then I will now what stitch to make that place look neat. That is on the waist part. Like I said, from the waist part, measure what 9 inches. You saw me sewing the other part. So once I was done, I now what folded it to cover the other end so that it can look what's neat. So that's what you should do on the what on that waist part. On the waist part, okay, just come from the waist part as if you are putting your zip. You know where you put, like the place where you put your zip now. So you are using this in lieu of your zip. All right, the reason why you are doing it is because that place is going to be open when they tie that the back part. That place is going to look open. So just assuming you are wearing a skirt that has rope. Okay, good. You're wearing a skirt that has rope. Have you seen that those grandmothers skirt that they usually wear inside? You see how one side of the back usually is usually open, especially that area they put zip is usually open. That's how it's going to look like. So that's what I'm trying to cover. So once I am done with that area, I will now go ahead and what? And cover the what? The upper side. You're going to also cover the upper side. The same way you sew your when you're sewing your skirts, how you put your rope, that's how you will do there. So we are going to what cover that part. But I'm going to continue with my channel, my boning channel. So continue with what with it. Please stay tuned and just keep watching. So on the bottom part, I'm going to cut out my fabric in a way that is going to be what 10 inches wide. Okay, so that when I fold it, it's going to be what 5 inches. So this is what I'm sewing right now. Okay, this is the bottom area. I cut out a very big strip. It's 10 inches wide, and it was longer. It was 60 inches long. You know the satin is 60 inches, 60 inches long, but I added satin to make it more what longer. So but the width is what 10 inches. So I'm going to finish sewing this side, and then I'll turn to flip to the other side and make sure my stitches are what are inside. This is on the bottom area. On the bottom area, the material there is going to look what bigger. I'll show you what I mean once we are through with what joining this. So this I'm doing the bottom area. So once I got to the end, I fold there. So you can see I'm doing the down part now. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, like I said, I used 10 inches. All right, so unfold is 5 inches. So now this is it. By the time I finish joining with half inch, I'll be left with what with 4 inches unfold. So this is how you should do what the lower part. You see I'm now I flipped it to the back. Now I'm sewing at what I'm sewing the back side. That's the reason why you are seeing that marker showing. The marker will still show at the what the back side, at the wrong side of the what of the petticoat. So this is how to do the down part. So this is how I did my own. So once I was done with everything, I'll iron that down part right to look what look neater. So now that I'm through with creating all my boning channel, now it's time to do what the waist parts. Okay, like I said, please make sure on the side of the waist, from the waist part, and from on the side of your what petticoat, from the waist side, please cover with a bias, because that place is going to look open. That part you're supposed to add zip. You know, if it's a normal skirt, you add zip now. Close it very well. So now from I'm going to be what closing up what the waist part. Okay, I'm also going to create a channel where we can what insert our rope, because we are going to be tying it. So now I'm going to create that part, and then I'm also going to also create a rope. So we're going to put in the rope. All right, run the rope, put the rope on with our safety pin. Okay, so I'm creating that part. That's what I'm creating now. Once we're done with doing that, I'm going to put a rope on it. Sorry for the light. You know, in Nigeria now, nepa. We took the light and it came back again. Okay, so once we're done with that, we are going to show you how beautifully it came out. I would have loved to show you where we put on the clothes, but it's okay. We're still going to show you how everything turned out. Okay, I'm going to show you how everything turned out. Maybe I'm going to post a picture of the wedding gown we are making. Like I said, I've not made the wedding gown already. I've not made it. Okay, I'm just only trying to make the petticoats now. The wedding gown will be ready at least first week of August. I'm going to see it. I'm going to teach you how to make it. All right. So just stay tuned. All right. Now it is time to cover what the side, but please, we can't cover the side when we've not put what our boning. Okay. So we'll go and what put what our boning. Once we are through with putting the boning, we cannot cover. All right. So this is how it came out. Remember, like I said, initially it was about 4 5 channel we created, but because it didn't really give us what we wanted, so I had to use like I think we used 4 4 inches, not 3.5. Formerly it was around. So this is it. Okay, I tried to wear it on the dummy to see how it came out. It came out beautifully well. It's bigger looking at it physically, but I don't know why it's now looking smaller on my camera. All right, what I'm going to do is this. When I'm through with sewing the wedding gown, I'm going to show you how it's looking. Maybe I'll just upload the picture so that you see how the wedding gown will make. Or maybe when we are doing the wedding gown, I'll put it on so that you see it. I had someone hold it at the back so that we can join well. But she's going to leave it so that you see how it says. Okay. But if you find this tutorial very helpful, please make sure you likes, you share, and subscribe. Okay. So I'm going to see you on my next class. All right. My name is Cynthia. I love you all. Bye.